can't figure out how to install it, so...
Okay. Prius. Oh, he's not here.
I think he went to the bathroom.
Yeah. In the meantime, if your friend can start fixing up the Teamspeak, that will be great.
Well, I actually haven't blocked on Discord. There has been a long backstory between me and him, so...
Okay. Okay. I believe Prius is all. Yeah, I think you can contact him, but well, this is a sticky situation. Yeah, I think he's helping him right now. Alright. Let's get all of you guys in a circle. Well, it's just always there, standing there, basically, in front of me. And, guns away, that would be great. So, no misfires or anything like that.
How do you answer?
0.
By pressing 0, yes, you can take off the gun. You as well, Lazy.
I think my Teamspeak assigned to 0.
Okay, what do you have set that up?
I'm not sure. I need to look it up.
Let me find you. I'm just trying to find you the thing so you can fix that up. If you go to your settings.
Yep.
Controls. And then you head towards configure add-ons. And there's a little pop-up score called add-on. Choose an ace weapons. And scroll down until you can find the holster weapon. And then choose whatever keybind you want in there. Usually it's the 0.
I'm inside the add-on control, so where should I go?
What, sorry?
I'm inside this add-on controls.
Yeah.
And I need to go to where?
So controls, and then configure add-ons.
Yep, I'm there.
Yes, and then you have the add-on button, and then press that thing. There's should
Yep.
be ace common. Go to ace weapons.
Okay.
Scroll down.
Okay.
Holster weapon. And choose whatever keybind you want.
Okay.
But I do recommend changing the Teamspeak keybind from 0 to something else. And then going with the holster weapon on Arma as a 0.
Okay.
Alright. And when you have set that up, you can holster your weapon.
Okay. Wait.
You got that? Alright, I'm not gonna stall any longer with this one, so welcome everyone. This is the recruit intake. We'll be going through multiple things, such as how to use ATs, how do you use the radios, medical, infantry formations, communications, and close quarter battles. How do you fight when if you're in the vehicle, how you go into the battlefield, and how you're supposed to disembark when you reach a certain point. When we finish the training, basically I want all of you to know the basic formations as well as the boundings, usage of grenades and ATs, how you can apply splits, well as tourniquets and bandages, etc. And you know the rules of engagement if you're not already familiar with them. And yeah, that's about it. But further ado, let me talk a little bit about myself. You Prius, you there?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay, nice. So let me start up. I'm Private First Class Felix. I've been on this unit for about a year. The reason why I'm still kind of low rank is due to the fact that I was in the military a year ago, and I was doing my conscription there. But I do have a lot of experience from Arma 3, about 800-ish hours, and with 600 hours with the mods, including Ace. I know a bit about how to use Ace. With my military experience... Just a second. Yeah, so I was in the Finnish Defense Forces. I served as a logistic group leader, field team leader. I was a corporal, and I basically fixed everyone who had some problems with food and logistical issues. And yeah, that's about it. Prius?
Yeah, so my name's Prius. By the way, don't have to call me sir, yes sir, anything like that. As mentioned in the induction, we're pretty chill here instead of unit. Things like that. Nothing special really from me, right? I'm just the person who was named after a car. Lol, funny.
About the worst car.
Hey,
Hey,
watch it
Gotta
there.
go green, you know.
Watch it there, buddy. Things
could be
like that.
worse.
Could it?
So yeah, with that, as Felix said, we're just gonna make sure everyone knows the basic fundamentalities on how to operate as a basic rifleman inside of UNITAF, how to understand the basic principles, standard operating procedures on how we do things inside of a fire team, how we do things in general with utilizing formations, tactics, things like that, radio communication, and etiquette, so on and so forth, right? Just all the basic stuff, really. From what I've understood, each and every one of you has some experience, at least with Ace and things like that.
Yep.
Anyone here that's kind of fairly new?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, me too.
Who is I?
Donber.
Donber and Leslie.
I mean, I've got like 1800 hours in Arma, but mod-wise, fairly new.
Right. So, yeah, just it's fairly. So, in regards to Ace, it's basically a quote-unquote interaction mod that makes interactions out of Arma a slight bit more realistic. So, basically, for example, I can interact with other people, such as Felix over here. I can tap their shoulder with the Ace mod, and with the Ace mod as well. It enables a advanced version of the medical system for our unit and Arma in general. So it's not just you run up in vanilla Arma to a injured person and utilize a personal aid kit just to fully heal them. With Ace, it simulates more realistically of actually, your limbs being hit. You're using certain bandages to heal them up, things like that, and so forth, so on and so forth. Now, essentially, real quick, just to make sure everyone understands the basics of how to utilize Ace. For example, here is to assign, or correction, in this case, you would run up to me and use your Ace interaction button to access my body and join the group. So how you do that is you run up to me, left Windows key, look at my body. There should be a interaction button in the center of my body, and then join the group. So we're gonna just do so either on me and Felix here. so let's see. Everyone should be in. Are we missing some? Pickle? You're
I don't
in?
have the option.
Left
You're
Windows
in
key.
already.
He's
I can see
already
you
in the group.
Yeah, mine doesn't have anything that says join the group.
You're already in the group as well, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, then good.
That explains it.
Oh, is he? That's weird.
Donbo, isn't it?
He's not showing up for me though.
Uh-huh.
Let's see.
Me neither.
So left Windows key. If you move close to me and then you look around, you should have like multiple options to interact.
It says Sergeant Prius and then head, tap shoulder, interactions, and then take prisoner.
Damn. Rough person. Let's see if this works. How about now? He's in. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you're
he's
in now, so I manually put
Interactions,
in.
I can say assign buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, should be good now. But usually it's under the interactions and join group. Sometimes it may bug out for some weird reason, but yeah.
That was
So
me.
the main function with Ace is using the left Windows key to, if you just press left Windows key and look around, look at other people, you can interact with them. In this case, if you were to hold Control left Windows key, if I'm not mistaken, it's the default button for that, you will get what is called a Self Actions menu. In this menu, you can do multiple stuff, such as opening up your radios, opening up your UNITAF tablet, equipments, animations, surrenders, access our medical menus, so on and so forth. Everyone got that?
Yep.
All right, just say if you didn't get it, so just keep moving forward. Now, talking about, I'll actually take the first two, so radios and this one, just to make sure.
All right. So first up, we're gonna go with the fundamentals of radios and well as the.
Talk about makeup of our team.
Oh yes, fire team. Yes. So I'm gonna need you all to press Control and Windows, and you will be finding a team management on the bottom of the screen. Depends on what kind of things you have in there. And you can see you can either join red, green, blue, yellow, and become a leader or leave a group. You can also rename a group or assign a new one if you leave the group. So with the buddy teams, it's easier to see who is which and what their primary target is, what the team they belong to. They can be in one squad, there could be two teams. So we can know who is which by the color. So let's just say that Sazonov and kMaN, you go with the color red. Thank you. And Pickle and Dumber, you go with green. Nice. And Sham or Shambhala?
Don't care.
You and Darkman, you'll be going as a blue. And let's just say, Lazy, you're gonna go blue as well. So we got everyone with different colors now. All right, that's simple enough for everyone.
Yep.
Great. All right, so first things what we're gonna do is go back to Control Windows key. And if you go to the equipment, you can pretty much find earplugs or different attachments to your gun. You can do them in that way. With self-interact, you can put the earplugs in and out. So if you don't have them in during the firefight, you're going to go deaf. You can't hear anything. So remember always to put the earplugs in when you're going to battle. Alright, good.
Okay.
You can also find the medical menu and the medical. With the medical menu, if you press that, you can find your whole body, head, torso, arms, and legs. And when you press these buttons, you can pretty much see what kind of thing you can do. For me, right now, I can only check my pulse. But depending on what kind of you do, if there's a bleeding going on, you can bandage them and tourniquet them or give them blood. With the medical menu, you can do it a little bit faster, but I do recommend with the medical menu, so you know, it's you're basically much faster when you're doing the medical stuff in the medical menu, if that's clear for everyone. All right. So next thing up, we do have the fire team. Does anyone know what a fire team is? What can you say about fire team? Yes. Yes. That's good. That's a good answer. And yes, they can help each other work things out, go in the battlefield, and usually the squad leader will assign people to go into different places. And with a team, there's a team leader. For this example, in a squad, 2 teams, 2 team leaders, focusing on different targets or same target. Yeah, so we have the team leader. Then we have the assault rifleman, or sorry, automatic rifleman, which basically means that you have the MG machine gun, really heavy stuff. You can put some firepower in the enemies. The automatic rifleman also has assistant automatic rifleman, which purpose in the team is to give out ammo if the automatic rifleman runs out of
Donber, hot
the
mic.
ammunition. We do have also a CLS, which stands for Combat Lifesaver. If you're assigned to that role, you're basically like a medic, but you can't give out blood to your teammates. Only platoon medic or squad medic can give the blood to you. With CLS role, Combat Lifesaver, you're basically a much faster with the medical stuff, giving bandages, tourniquets. Usually with the bandages, we're gonna go with them later. The bandages can fail, so you're gonna start bleeding again. And we can fix those things out. Next thing up is the AT, which is the anti-tank rifleman, basically carrying a big-ass AT, and it's only one-time use. So remember, if you're shooting with the AT, it's a one-time only. So be careful with that. And we do have just a normal rifleman as well. But yeah. So now I assigned you all to different colors. For example, kMaN and Sasnob are team body members as red. Always stay with your buddy. The same color, stay with them. Whenever someone goes down and you don't hear from them, it usually means that they're down. So always stick with them at all times. With communication-wise, with your battle buddy team, is by saying like, I'm moving, I'm firing. You spotted the target somewhere, giving like the coordinations. Also, do you remember that if one guy is looking at south, for instance, the other one should be looking at somewhere else. Because if you're only focusing on one point, you're having the tunnel vision. And that's not good. Have a self-aware in that. Yeah, I'm going to refer to the accountability to your battle buddy team is that if they do fall down, it's kind of your problem as well. So stick with them.
1 second, real quick. Donber, you're hot micing. Just your voice activation.
How do I fix that?
Can you mute your
Teamspeak,
mic?
tools.
Hold on, let me switch over to Teamspeak here. Okay.
Options, capture, then
Capture. Got it.
voice activation, and adjust the slider up until you don't occasionally cue up your mic from low noises.
Put it to hybrid.
But either way, you can also mute your mic if you're not talking.
Or just push to talk.
Yeah, that's same as well.
All right, where's the slider at here?
You should
Slider?
see it directly right below the voice activation.
Yeah, I see a slider, but there's nothing I can adjust.
If
It just
you
says
change
begin
it from
test.
automatic to hybrid,
Yeah, from
Oh, to
automatic.
then
hybrid.
you can press
Okay.
begin test, and you can when you talk, you can see where it goes.
All right, let's apply that.
We good? Nice.
Hear me
So,
still?
yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Good. So basically, stay with your battle buddy teams. If your friend or the battle buddy team goes down, report it. Because if you don't report it, he's gonna die. Report that to the CLS or the medic with true team leader, so they know. And also, if you are in a combat zone where your battle buddy team goes down, kill the enemy. Don't start healing him in the middle of a firefight. Kill the enemy, secure the place, get to cover, and start CPRing him and doing the medical stuff so that you don't go down. But yeah, that's about it from the Battle Buddy Teams section.
All right. Does anyone have any questions regarding that?
Nope.
Pretty simple stuff, right? You assign your buddy team, make sure he stays up and you stay up, and you guys are, working with each other, and so on. We don't want a scenario where one buddy team member goes down and then we just don't know where he is, and then we'll have to divert our attention to either finding him and searching for him, which isn't ideal in the combat scenario, etc. All right, now we're gonna move on towards the Teamspeak and TFAR aspects of Arma. Like, for example, us talking like this right now using our local communication. We also have radios that enable us to assist with the communication when we are further enough that we can't hear one another without actually using radio. Who here hasn't utilized TFAR before? I'll take that as everyone has used it.
Wait, I haven't.
I've used it
Right.
briefly.
So we're just gonna go real quick through on the basic fundamentalities and how to use a radio. If you press Control P, you should pull up a ANPRC short-range radio. Now, as you can see, it's a little bit gimmicky in regards to we have to actually input the frequency that we're gonna talk on it, and then we can even change the actual channel. And each channel can be assigned a different frequency, so on and so forth. In this case, a couple of you might have default channels set as 251, and some might have 252. But for this instance, we're gonna do a quick change on it. If everyone highlights the frequency number on the radio, we're gonna switch it to 255. And before we close the radio, the button that says ENT on it says set frequency. Make sure to hit that button. And at that point, we've set channel 1 to frequency 255. And we can go ahead and just close the radio. In this instance, we're going to also do a quick radio check so that everyone actually has set their frequency correct. So, to talk on the radio, is to essentially just hold caps lock, right? So in this case, we'll start from Sazonov and then move over further to the coast.
255 check.
Roger. Out. Roger. Out. Senior Pickle radio check.
Shambhala
Roger.
check.
Out.
Donber, radio check.
Roger. Out.
Shambhala.
Shambhala video check.
Roger. Out.
Darkman radio check.
Roger. Out.
Leslie radio check.
Roger. Out.
So everyone got the basic fun thing sorted. So it's as simple as that. That's how you assign a radio frequency onto a short-range radio. Usually the handheld smaller radios that you see that you get put into your inventory's radio position are short-range radios, and the one that you see currently as utilizing the ANPRC 152 is the main standard radio that we use inside of UNITAF. As mentioned in the induction, frequencies are pre-assigned for each individual squad and each individual fire team. These are information that you can see when you open up the Orbat or when you select and reserve a slot inside of an Orbat. So if you are unclear, if you don't have the correct frequency, you can check it from the website, or you can run up to your fire team leader, squad leader, and ask them. Sometimes radio frequencies might slightly change, so it's not always set in stone. That's being the one on the website. And now a little bit of talk about some radio etiquettes inside of UNITAF. As you probably heard, I utilized Roger and out to indicate that I understood the message, and out to indicate that the transmission between two people has ended. I know some of you people might have heard in other units the utilization of copy, what else? Like copy, Roger that, over, so on and so forth. Rather than saying copy and over, here in UNITAF, our standard procedure to acknowledge a message is to say Roger or Raj. And then to indicate a transaction between both parties has ended is to call out when the radio transmission between two people has ended. So in regards to copy, we say Roger, and in regards to over, we say out. Those two words are the basic standard operating procedures that we do with our radio etiquette, just to keep it simple and clear for everyone that where it says, okay, they have acknowledged the message, and then at the end, when we call out, message or conversation between two individuals has ended. Anyone, any questions regarding the radios, things like that?
Nope.
Right. Now, before we move on to the actual medical stuff and triage, just want to make sure everyone has their advanced movement button set. So it is, for default, set as Shift V. So when you press Shift V, rather than the normal just hitting V, which is the vanilla vault maneuver, as you can see me doing, with the Shift V button, it's more of an advanced maneuver thingy where you're actually able to hop over bigger fences, HESCOs, or any objects, things like that. Because the vanilla vaulting mechanic, it doesn't enable you to hop over large obstacles. So with Shift V, you can hop over, hop onto, and even hop down from high places without taking additional damage. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. Default is Shift V, but however, this can be changed inside of the options inside of your Arma profile. So either controls, add-on options, and so on and so forth. Any questions with advanced maneuver?
No.
Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and everyone follow me. We're gonna go towards our medical position. Make sure you check left and right before you cross, eh? Don't want people getting splattered by a vehicle out of nowhere.
Need a zebra crossing.
Right, go ahead and just give me a line in front of here, so that everyone actually sees the billboard here behind me and so on and so forth. Right. So regarding our medical menu and medical stuff, some of you might have played with Advanced Medical, some of you may not. There's a big difference between the vanilla version and Ace Advanced Medical. As mentioned, Ace simulates your limbs for your character and the individual different types of damages that they can take, and to kind of fix them up, we have a couple of main bandages that we use and operating procedures that we have to do to make sure that you won't reopen and things like that. All right, so starting off, of course, with the medical aspects is in UNITAF there's different types of medical personnel. Starting from the lowest is, of course, a CLS, which is embedded into a FAR team. So a FAR team level medical is usually done by CLS. And then from there on, we move to the squad medic, which is embedded into the squad lead element, so following the squad leader. And from there on, the higher we go, platoon medic, MERT specialist, and so on. Now, there's different functions between these individuals. Starting from the lowest, everyone in the medical system can stitch, right? But starting from the lowest, which is the CLS, CLSs are essentially the first responders inside of our team to a medical situation. They'll essentially just, deal with your wounds, make sure you are combat operational at all times, things like that. The thing to note with CLSs is that they can't give blood. The only personnel who can give blood is squad medic and up. So CLSs are just first responders. If you need blood infused to your own person, at that point we need to require a squad medic or higher to get and help you out. Right? But the basic fundamentalities apply. It's just the first responders are the only ones who are not able to give blood, so on. So talking about starting off with the bandages and things like that. So two main bandages that we kind of use here in UNITAF. Usually it's a elastic bandages or quick clots. Does anyone here actually know what the difference between those two are?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. Go ahead, Senor.
I think the quick cloth it's like less efficient, but it doesn't reopen that often.
Correct. Basically, a good answer there. The difference between quick clots and elastics are, as mentioned by Pickle here, quick clots are take longer to apply onto a limb, and it might not stop the bleeding right off the bat. However, when you stop the bleeding, quick clots don't open as fast as elastics. However, on the other hand, elastics get applied faster and have a higher chance of actually stopping the blood. However, they are more faster to, or more prone to opening up quicker. Use cases, for example, in the case of, let's say, if we need to quickly bandage someone up, usually we use quick clots to make sure bleeding stops as fast as possible. And in the case of if we have a medical personnel that's able to stitch right next to us, we'll just use elastics, bandage them up fast, and then use the stitching to stop the bleeding. In the case of if we don't have any medical personnel nearby us, we'll primarily use quick clots to, bandage ourselves up. However, we're expecting that we might not have a medical assistant to, stitch us up as soon as possible. So with that said, quick clots don't open as fast. Same aspects are there's a lot of other use cases or other bandages such as packing or field dressing. As you can see from the icons here, generally they have their different types of criteria that they feel better, efficiencies, and reopening. As you can see, elastics on the screen, they open up real quick, and then quick clot open less, right? But for UNITAF, we primarily either use elastics or quick clots. As well, moving to other board as well here, we have some more information in regards to like certain criteria of heart rates, blood pressures, what the different use cases of morphine are, blood packs, epinephrine, cardiac arrest, things like that. But for the basic stuff of medical, simplest that is is we have to bandage our wounds, right, to stop the blood, then get a medical personnel to stitch us up so that our wounds won't open. Now, moving on to the blood infusement and using morphine and epi. There are states. Oh, what the hell?
Aaron
I
is
guess
back.
Aaron did decide to join us.
Hold on. So yeah, I'll try to talk at the same time here. Let me just TP this guy in. Teleport. Player. There we go. Aaron, can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, welcome.
Thank you. Sorry for the wait.
No worries. Just go ahead and just join us, and we'll just keep proceeding with our medical stuff. So I was talking. You're actually hot micing a little bit, Aaron. Might wanna.
How do I turn the top?
Sorry, say again.
How do I make it push to talk?
Teamspeak tools,
Yeah.
options,
Okay.
capture, push to talk, select push to talk, and assign a push to talk button. And that's basically it. But yeah, this was mentioning in regards of medical. The basic stuff is just
How do I
for
do it? How do I do it? Tools.
say again.
How do I turn the push to talk, sir?
What the fuck?
Felix, go ahead and just help him out there.
Let me. Aaron, come with me. Behind you. Let's go here.
So yeah, where was I? Blood. There we go. Even though I got distracted there for a second. Apologies. So with blood, there are cases where if we take, wounds to our limbs, we of course start losing blood at the same time. To circumvent that, we also, try to bandage ourselves. But we also have the use of tourniquets. Does anyone know what a tourniquet is?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
essentially, tourniquet is in simplest terms, a rope that you slap on your limbs that tighten around your limbs, essentially stopping your blood flow. In this case, also stopping your blood loss because you won't be bleeding from that particular body part. With blood, of course, we can lose blood if we get shot and we don't, manage to bandage our wounds as fast as possible. In this case, sometimes we need to transfuse or infuse blood into certain people who have possibly lost blood and things like that. Now, keep in mind, with the medical system, if you have a medical rating that says that you've lost a lot of blood and you might go unconscious, you're gonna need to be infused with blood so that you wake up, because your vitals are basically in need of blood at all times, and you lost the blood. At that point, you might not wake up. You just need infused blood into your body so that you actually wake up from that. Morphine, as it is, morphine is utilized for pain, or if you have a wound, you might see it as your screen either flashing because you're in pain, And in this case, you might need a morphine jab. And with that, do keep in mind, morphine should only be applied once every 15 minutes. Morphine overdose works inside of our mod pack. You don't want to get more overdosed. If you do that, medical personnel will laugh at you because that is funny as shit and
Funny time.
stupid as fuck at the same time. Right? Same thing for epinephrine. Epinephrine increases heart rate. Basically, a slight counter to morphine when it decreases your heart rate. Usually, when someone gets or puts morphine on their body, occasionally their heart rate drops that much that you might start hearing your heartbeat. This is an indication to the fact that your heart rate is low. You're going to need an epinephrine shot to kind of increase the heart rate so that you stop hearing it. Epinephrine is also utilized in a manner of when someone might go unconscious and they are not in a vital state where they've lost a lot of blood. In this case, we can utilize epinephrine to increase the heart rate and hot miking Felix, by the way, to increase the heart rate, and by that, as regard, increase the chances of us waking up as well. Sounds simple? Everyone follow?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, so a real quick note on the basic SOP before we actually go and showcase the medical menu. Of course, whenever a firefight happens or you're clearing a building with a fire team, so on and so forth, the first thing to do, let's say as an example, you're clearing a building. Let's say this building is just a small building, maybe 3 floors high, and you're clearing it. Let's say the point man goes down. What do you usually do?
Drag him to cover.
Push forward.
Push forward is actually a good answer.
Drag him to cover.
Keep the aggression.
Exactly. So you can also, of course, if the person or the body is in the way of your movement, tight corridors, in that case, of course, pull the body somewhere else. But the primary focus is when you have casualties and your majority fire team is still operational, win the firefight. Clear the building first. Do not stop to do medical in the middle of a building that's still uncleared. Clear the building first so that you don't have any scenarios where you're doing medical or helping the medical for that down person and a enemy sneaks up on you because you didn't clear the building thoroughly, right? After the building is cleared, at that point, of course, you start doing the medical, starting with the pulse check. Check if they're having a heart rate or not, and triaging. Triaging, we have 3 different categories, of course. If a person is immediate, and then I forgot the other 2. 1 second. Holy shit. Even I don't forget. Immediate, delayed, and minimal. There we go. So, starting with the most serious one is immediate. A person who is unconscious and is actively bleeding from the majority of their body parts. Right, that is categorized as a immediate person. So usually when we categorize people, depending on what their medical situation is, this allows medics to actually prioritize certain people if they're lost a lot of blood. Of course, we do keep in mind what their rank is. Usually fairly dumb. All right. Everyone catches the basic concept of medical inside of UNITAF.
Yeah.
Yes.
What can CLS do?
Like stitch, but can't
Stitch
give
and
blood.
bandage.
Stitch and bandage. What can't they do?
They can't give
Give
blood.
blood.
Who do you need to give blood?
A blood
Squad
bag.
medic, platinum
Squad
medic.
medic.
There we go. Cool. How many CPRs do you usually do?
1 person.
2.
2 then check.
2, then check. 2, then check up until the moment you see an actual heart rate. What
Is
do
there a
you tell?
physic where they don't get like when they can't be revived?
Inside of UNITAF, our system is set so that regardless of how fucked you are always savable up until a point that you've lost a lot of blood and you literally die to death. That's the only way people die in UNITAF.
Yep.
What do you tell everyone else who might helping you when you are checking CPR?
You stop.
Or
Well,
correction,
if you
not
check-
check CPR. Check heart rate.
Yeah, I was about to say. Tell
Stop
everyone to stop
CPR.
CPR so you don't get a false reading.
There we go. Cool. Now, let's actually divide you guys into 4 and 4. So I'm gonna split from the middle here. kMaN, you're with the 3 guys to your south, and Aaron, 3 guys to your north. Me and Felix are gonna be some test dummies for this case. This is the only time you can shoot a person inside of UNITAF. No other time should you discharge your gun at a friendly member. Got it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it.
Alright, your next tasking is to... don't do this yet. Shoot us, and then bandage us. Now, the main concept of this is when you bandage, you communicate with one another. What are you doing? What? This is, for example, hey, this is Sazanov. I'm bandaging his leg. This is Lazzy. Get his head. So on and so forth. You want to prioritize and utilize your force as much as possible. You don't want every single person to bandage the same leg. You want to spread it out, spread the load out. Got it?
How many
Got
shots?
Yep.
I mean, you're up to you. Go ahead.
Oh no.
Right, shoot us. Make sure you take
Tell
your
us
gun
us.
off safety.
Yeah.
Come on,
It wasn't safety, it wasn't loaded.
keep shooting.
Already.
I'm still up.
He's
Damn.
down.
Alright.
Safety off.
Doing torso.
We only got his torso.
Yeah,
I'm
we only
doing
got
left
stars,
leg.
so, well,
I'm doing left leg.
Got right arm.
Splitting.
start bandaging
Applying
the torso,
tourniquet to
I'll
right
check
arm.
for a blood pressure.
Got the left arm.
Okay.
It's-
Pickle
I think
bandaging.
He's got a strong heart rate.
Right,
and he's
applying
got a blood
bandage to right arm.
pressure.
Another
Lots of blood
bandage.
loss.
Normal.
Lots of blood
Checking
loss.
pulse. Strong heart rate, he has it.
Another
He's
bandage.
still bleeding.
Yeah, he has a lot of wounds in the chest.
Lots of blood
Arm
being lost.
stabilized.
Okay, bleeding is stopped.
He's.
Starting
Stable and-
CPR.
Yep, I'm
Applying splint to right arm.
Are you
Say
sure?
the
He had
splints
a
one,
heart
he's
I'm
still
applying-
bleeding from the
I'm
torso.
applying
How did it
splinter
stop
to right
going?
arm.
I didn't stop beating, so.
Guys, splints
I think
aren't
the
important
kid's
when he's
been
bleeding, okay?
knocked out.
Second CPR.
We're at CPR on the medic menu. I can't
If
see
you,
it.
if you click the torso and then
advanced.
advance.
Checking pulse.
Yep.
No,
It
we got
doesn't let
strong
me-
Ah,
heart
we
rate.
need a
It
stitch.
doesn't let me do it. Oh, okay, card.
All right, I'm showing no
So,
heart
strong
rate.
Heart rate. We could.
I think he should
I
pick up
don't
soon.
have a epinephrine.
he might
No blood
need some
pressure.
blood.
An epinephrine
Um,
to get it out.
Starting CPR.
That would
Yeah.
really help, would it?
My
All right,
think it
where's
might make him
CPR
blood.
here?
my function
He
will
needs
work.
blood, I think.
Yeah, because there's nothing that we can do at the moment
That's
besides
all it
giving him
is.
CPR. So,
All right.
and since we don't have epinephrine, we can't really get him up.
fuck.
So
There's
it's
an FE in the
kinda-
box. Alright.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
guys are
first
good?
CPR done. Applying second.
No, you just
Alright, I wanna...
He's opening from his limbs.
Have a quick look at the medical menu, right? So,
Yep.
at the
Okay,
bottom,
checking
it has
pulse.
activity log and quick view.
I'm removing
in
the
here,
tourniquet.
You know, it views
Heart
the
rate
job
strong.
to
We're good.
who's, you know, done what. Like, for
Alright.
example, Pickle has bandaged the patient on activity logs. Usually in the activity logs as well, it will showcase who might have given morphine or epinephrine as well. This is also useful to see when was the last time a morphine was given to this person, right? So if it's at least been that 15 minutes.
No, he's got a strong heartbeat right now.
We can't stage him. He's gonna keep opening. Eventually bleed to death.
In this case, right?
We need a medic.
You see at the top left, lost a lot of blood. What does that usually indicate?
More blood.
Low blood pressure.
Blood pressure's low.
Yeah, he might need the transfusion to
Checking
actually
pulse.
get up.
Heart rate strong.
You guys go ahead and line up back up.
He's still in
wake
his
him up
blood.
soon.
He won't wake up.
Right, you guys doing medical on Prius. Just give me an overview. Is he stable currently?
Yeah, he just needs a stitch and blood. Otherwise, he's not gonna get up.
Right. Does he have a heart rate?
He does have a heart rate.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Alright,
console
good.
key. It is
So yeah, as you can see,
I think you can even press
Prius,
F
the
and it
one
should
who's
take it to
laying on the
safety.
ground, he's
I think it does. I
basically
just
all
had-
blue
I
on his
just-
medical
when I reinstalled Arma
person.
a couple of days ago, it just deleted all my
Actually,
keybinds
here's a
set
good
beforehand,
showcase. He
which
actually
was
opened up
kinda
on his
annoying.
That's very
right
annoying.
arm.
Bandaging it.
But yeah, generally in this case, right, if he generally doesn't wake up right off the bat, you can go ahead and take a look at the top right. It says lost a lot of blood. What does that indicate? Needs more blood, so in this case, you usually would call
Stop.
in
No.
We need a
a
medic.
squad medic,
Uh,
get
there
in,
you go.
and then give him blood. But at that point, when the medic comes in, he'll take over, and then start doing stuff on him. All right, and then as well for you guys at the bottom left and bottom right, you have your activity logs. Quick review. These will showcase who's done what. For example, Lazzy has put bandage on the patient, or if someone, for example, puts a morphine on him. So basically, timestamp every activity that's been done to the person, and as well, at top bottom right, some people have checked their heart rates. It's indicated that the heart rate is strong. Hey, now we knew what the previous members have done, and understand that. All right, with that said, go ahead and just line it back up. Oh, I'm back. Well, that was a nightmare.
I noticed I've been zip tied.
Oh, didn't zip tie.
Someone zip tied me.
Someone zip tied you.
War
Yeah.
crimes.
Oh, never mind.
I got him loose.
Right.
There we go.
So yeah, that was a quick reference on the basic medical, right? The key points, of course, is communicate what you're doing. You want to spread out the load of doing medical on the body. Now, with that said, instead of fire team, it does not mean that every single person, if one person goes down, goes to help them out. Can anyone tell me what the most important part as well is when doing a medical? So that
Security.
Security, exactly. You want to upkeep security at the same time. Even though, let's say you've cleared a building, right? You always want to keep up security just in case enemy might breach the building again and try to capture it. Security up and running all the time, not everyone always on the body. If a medical personnel is on site, they usually will dictate if they need help. So listen to what the CLS or squad medic is saying. If he's yelling security, those who are not medical personnel move away from the body. Full security. Understood?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Now, what I wanted to also note on when you do medical and things like that. When you have your gun on a high ready motion, like I am currently with my pistol, and try to access someone's body and start bandaging, it won't let me. What you have to do is essentially go put your gun on low ready or put it on your back by pressing 0. Essentially, that's a simulation of, hey, you have your hands full, you can't do medical. Oh, I'll put my gun away. Now I can do medical. So that you guys remember on the field when you try to do medical for someone, and even though you think you have bandages and all the necessary stuff on your body, put your gun down or on the back so that you actually can do the medical. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions?
Nope.
I'm good.
All right. Cool. With that said, we'll move on. Follow me. Right. So now moving on to topics that you see on the billboard and then some. Felix, do you want to talk about the rules of engagement?
Don't shoot till you're shot at first.
Yeah, that's basically it. So, when you get into a firefight and someone is shooting at you, of course you have to shoot back. But there's some instances, for example, if there's a coding mechanism for that as well, which is the rag. If your team leader says weapon screen, that means that you can shoot at fire at will. Basically at anything other than civilians. We do not shoot civilians or unarmed enemies. If they're not threat to you, do not shoot them. With the weapons amber, also known as orange, only engage positively identified targets after requesting permission to fire. So basically, if you're seeing someone, let's just say 100 meters out, and you're looking at, okay, there's two guys there, should I shoot them? You're going to ask permission. Usually, team leader will respond to this, yes or no, and you will be going through that plan. Now, with the weapons red, it kind of depends on the situation. Usually, it means that we're in a stealth operation. We're during the night raid, doing something we want to keep low profile. We don't want to attract enemies to us, so we're going to keep them red. And we're not shooting at anyone. We're not making noises. Is that everyone clear on that?
Yep. Understood.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, that's awesome.
Civpov, Seepers. You want to talk about that as well?
Yeah, sip off. So, when we win the firefight, we will be providing medical assistance to both Blue 4 as well as civilians and Off 4 personnel. With the rules engagements, when winning a firefight, you're basically helping out buddies with medical assistance. If there's a civilian who's injured by the firefight that happened, for example, from explosion, such as like grenades or mortar strikes, you're going to help them out. Usually when you find a civilian, try to get them out of the firefight so they're not danger towards you through your battle party teams, and squad, so they don't interfere in the battlefield and crossing like a maniac. Also, with the enemies that have surrendered, you have to give them medical assistance as well, with the code of conduct on the rules engagement. So give them and treat them well. Prisoners of war, what does that mean? Can anyone say?
A prisoner who's been arrested for war crimes?
And somebody surrendered? Like,
yeah.
Not necessarily war crimes, but as someone said, surrendery.
Like it's a status, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, for instance, if an enemy is running towards you with his hands up and saying, I surrender, don't shoot him, because that's bad. We do not do that. And of course, there's going to be a little bit of caution, because the enemy can shout out, hey, I'm surrendering, but he could be having an explosive inside his backpack, if he has one, and then causing you and your teammates to fall down because of the explosion. So try to tell them, hey, keep a distance, stay back there, look towards behind you, and stay there. And then one guy or two guys going in there and tating that person. With close quarters, it's a bit hectic, So when you're in a firefight, remember, if you know from the intel there is the civilians in that area, be cautious, because if you harm them, then it's a bad thing. So always see what's happening on your rear, on your right and left, and in front, so you don't get that tunnel vision going on. By treating the prisoners of war, do not abuse them. Do not shoot at them. Do not say something badly. And also, there's a difference between basically saying like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" That's okay. But then just trying to like ask different kind of questions that are tactical, then that's not. So you have to be aware that you can ask what they're doing in here, and go with that plan.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
what Felix saying, there's different types of operations that we host. Some are more heavy oriented with roleplay, so to further the campaign and its missions, you could possibly try to get some information slash intel out of them, things like that. And then some just might be general surrenderies where you literally just, hey, hold there, arrest that person, and then you essentially just hand him over to the senior member upwards, right? So either squad leader, and then squad leader just moves him over to platoon leader, and so on and so forth. But yeah, there's different types of missions that we orientate with, especially, for example, peacekeeping missions. The server settings are a little bit different in regards to having AI unconscious enabled. So in that case, as we mentioned, even OP4, if they are surrenderies, or if we win the firefight and they stop shooting, surrender, we give them medical assistance. Things like that. Does anyone have any questions regarding this?
No.
Nope.
Cool. Right. So let's go on to the topics that are basically behind me and set a billboard. But before that, just a real quick talk about our combat pacing and how we essentially keep our combat pace and how to enable combat pace, right? So, as you possibly see, when you have your gun up, right? Everyone, you can pull up your guns. When you have your gun up and you move around, you might see that your gun is swaying a lot, right? Some of you might actually not have it because you've already pressed it. In this case, if you press C and then move around, you steady your gun, right? So usually when we're in combat and when we try to breach buildings and do breach buildings, usually we keep our weapons on a high ready, stable ready. Now to talk about our maneuvers and things like that. Usually we talk when we say combat pace. Combat pace is essentially a slow jogging, what I'm doing here right now. Now, to make sure that you are on jogging pace, right? Simple as it is, you can pull up your gun, make sure your gun is steady, and then you just put your gun down by double pressing Control. In this case, you are currently in combat pace. Combat pace is a good thing because it is the form of jogging that takes the least amount of stamina. Usually when we move from point A to point B, that might require us to walk a certain distance, like a couple of clicks or a click. So usually we just go into combat pace and just, jog there. This will conserve us a lot of stamina. Everyone follow?
Yep.
Yep.
Hey,
Cool. Right, now talking about different formations of UNITAF. There's usually basics of them, things like that. The most majority ones that we usually use is the wedge formation on the top left. As indicated by the wedge, there's some pros and cons to wedge formation depending on different scenarios. Usually a wedge formation is a middle ground of everything when we, are anticipating combat, things like that, when we move around. Can someone say a couple of pros from the wedge formation for me?
Big field of view.
Exactly. Big field of view. Anything else? Oh, to add on a big field of view as well.
Spread out.
Yep, spread out. Generally also have, depending on the direction that we move, like in this case, if we were to move upwards, we generally also have our guns facing up, the same way we're maneuvering. With the wedge as well, with the field of view, we also have, the view to the front and to the sides, depending on which side you are on the wedge. So generally, wedge has a good field of view if everyone understands the term 180 north, or just a 180 from your front, essentially. So 90 degrees to your left and 90 degrees to your right. What's the pros of a line?
Pushing in, like clearing a field.
Anything else?
That's all I can say.
Everyone has a clear line of fire.
Yep, exactly. Basically, it's pretty similar to the wedge, right? You also have your field of view, etc. But with a line, it's more oriented to expecting contact from a single direction, right? Essentially, we have, in this case, in the line, for example, we have our full force and fire effectiveness straight forward wherever we're expecting that contact to come from. Simple as it is. So, for example, if we are expecting full contact to the north, I would usually orientate my fire team in a firing line facing north at that point, right? Sorry?
Yep.
Huh?
What?
Amber, you good? Amber?
Somebody said something in there.
I'm good. Just had to quickly feed my dog.
Alright. But yeah, that's essentially the usefulness of a line as well. So you can spread out with that formation, so on and so forth. As well, we can utilize a staggered column. Anyone know what a staggered column could be used for?
Low profile?
Low profile going for the woods?
Low profile, going through the woods, things like that.
I'll keep it distance because IEDs.
Yeah. Usually, if we are in a IED situation or a minefield situation, rather than a staggered column, we would limit the movement to a single column, right? So we don't have two parallel columns walking right next to each other, and you have essentially twice the percentage of setting off an IED rather than everyone is, in a single file or column behind one point man. But yeah, staggered column. Staggered columns are usually utilized in, I would say, combat patrol scenarios. So, like for example, this road right here. If we were to move towards up the hill to where I'm pointing at, it would be viable to just have two fire teams on both sides of the road in a single column walking, kind of offset from each other, right? Makes sense.
Yep.
Yep. And then the thing that the board doesn't showcase is, of course, the single column. What's the pros of a single column? I kind of already spoiled it just now.
Low chance of setting a ID.
Exactly. If we are in a scenario where we might have to, move past an IED or a minefield, things like that. Of course, EOD personnel will be on point, but it's to limit the exposure to our sides. Everyone is following a single line that's been cleared by the engineer of mine, so that we actually don't set them off, right? Of course, with a single column as well. Let's say we're moving in tight corridor to cities or a very tightly grown tree line, things like that. Usually, in that case, we'll just move in a single column, right? Doesn't really make sense to be a wedge formation inside of a CQB area, now does it?
Nope.
Right. Also, talking about the spacing as well. If we move to the middle board here, fatal wounds and areas, right? Do you think you guys are currently spaced out between one another?
Not at all.
No.
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 Absolutely not. If I were to throw a grenade, like for example, right next to a Shambhala, I would say Pickle, Aaron, and kMaN over here might just, go down with him due to the explosion. Now, of course, if we were to think of the distance between Donber and Shambhala, at that point, if I were to toss a nade on closer to Shambhala, kMaN might take some shrapnel, but he might also have a hard chance of not going down, right? Simple as it is. Especially in open terrain like this, or scenarios where you might get shot at by rockets, artillery, things like that. Space out. You might want to keep a lot of spacing between one another. Generally saying, usually you would keep roughly a estimate of 10 to 15 meters between one another, such as, for example, the distance from me to Shambhala over here. All right? Everyone follow?
Yep.
Right. Makes sense. You want the highest chance possible of your majority of the fire team to stay conscious and stay alive when explosive happens next to the fire team. Now, it also indicates that, as the board says, one person might go down, but it's better for one person to go down and then the whole fire team. Right. Now, moving on to some bounding maneuvers. So, taking a look at the two bounding differences on the right side of the board. Usually, maneuvers such as these is called bounding. So, essentially, in simplest terms, a fire team covers while the other fire team maneuvers to a new position. And when the new position has been acquired by the second fire team, it'll essentially get flipped over. In this case, the buddy team who just moved, they'll start covering whilst the other fire team moves. Everyone understands the concept, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now with bounding as well, simple as it is, moving from cover to cover. Utilize your terrains to cover, utilize your maneuvers, concealment, things like that. Starting off with successive bounding. As the showcase is there. Successive bounding is essentially, let's say, for example, Felix, if you come to my left here. We'll just do a quick showcase on it on this road. Successive bounding is, for example, if Felix is the first fire team who's cover, essentially Felix will call out covering, and I'll call out moving. I'll move to my location. I'll call out set. In this case, indicates to Felix that my position is set. He's able to bound up. Now, in a successive bounding, the next person who bounds will usually bound parallel to the other buddy team in a successive bounding. So Felix will move up parallel to me if we were to move to the west. But
Moving.
and then he's set, right? This is successive bounding. Now, alternating bounding is a little bit different. If we reset here, Chris moving.
Cover.
Set. Chris set.
Felix moving.
And in this case, Felix does not stop parallel to me. He'll move up further. Then
Felix, set.
I'll just set. Then I'll just do the same. I will move up, not stop parallel to him. I'll move further and set. That's the two main differences between successive and alternating. However, that's just a general showcase of the difference. Usually the main aspects of bounding is bound to the position that has viable cover, right?
Yeah.
Let's say this is an actual scenario. As you can see, there's like a couple of rock positions just to our west that could be viable covers, right? Decent covers at most. Still, cover in an open terrain. Now, let's say, usually when we bound up, we don't usually set, alright, if it's a successive cover, I bound up, imagine there's like a HESCO barrier that I'm hugging. All set, Felix moves up, parallel to me, over there. But imagine that Felix doesn't have cover there.
Oh,
He has cover, let's say, over there where those HESCOs are. Tell me, should he stop here or should he stop over there?
Over there.
Yeah, but that's
Over there.
awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Stop next to the cover. Don't stop in the open terrain. Because if you stop in the open terrain, you're dead. Utilize cover as much as possible. Concealment, terrain, things like that. Exactly. These are showcases. But if you have a cover position right next to you, rather than stopping parallel to your buddy team, always move to the cover. Simple as it is. Everyone follow?
Yep.
Yep. Oh.
When you're doing that, would you do it in the normal voice or would you be like shouting with the range you'd be at?
Usually, the communication happens on the fire team level, so fire team leaders will talk to one another using radio. But of course, you can utilize your voice as well if you have a team. Like I'm sure if someone was over there and I was yelling, they can hear it.
Yeah, you'd have to yell though. Yeah.
Yeah, you would have to yell.
Yeah, there is just for your information, there are a few missions and operations. For example, Everclade, which is set on the Cold War. Only team leaders and squad leaders can use radios and long-range radios. So the communication happens through just shouting, basically.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions what we went through just now?
Nope.
Right. Let's actually delve down the buddy teams a little bit. Okay. Hold on. We have 4 of you each. So let's say. Why am I so confused right now?
Aaron is probably not in the...
Oh, Aaron, you're not in the team. That's right. Aaron, go ahead and ace interact on... Where's Aaron?
He's here on the left. So just pressing Windows key.
Interact on us. Join the team. So ace interact. Left Windows key on my body. You should see a interactions on my person.
Just hold it.
What's coming up?
So if you press left Windows key, do you see anything pop up on my body?
No.
No?
Oh, it's just because full screen.
That is weird. Oh, I'll just do it manually for now. And we'll talk to you about the ace stuff at the end. Because you weren't there. Alright, there we go. So, in this case, Aaron, go ahead and just follow the blue team. And then Donber Senior switch to red. So, self-interact. Change color to red, Donber. There we go. Cool, go ahead and follow me. So just to do a quick recap on the formations, right? We're gonna essentially just do a couple of them. So let's say in this case, our movement is toward the direct east. I want the squad in a fire team wedge, red on my left, blue on my right. Where do you position yourself? So just do once more, say red on my left, blue on my right. Where do you position yourself?
Are you be over here?
You're blue, bro. No, you're right.
Aaron, behind you. Come here. Stand here. Yep.
So, as you can see, we've just formed the wedge. Essentially, it's just an arrow pointing the direction where we're going. Alright, we're gonna change up the formation. We're moving north. I want everyone in a single column behind Prius. Where do you position yourself?
Just go there.
Cool. Simple as it is, right? Right. Now, go ahead and I want a staggered column positioned on road facing south. One blue on the left, red on the right.
Also, the red team and blue team can't be in parallel, so you should be going. Yeah, who's that? Darkman should go a little bit forward, and then kMaN should be staying here, and then who's that? That's Shambhala. He should be around here, and then you can see pretty much there's a hole in every single time there's someone there.
Bless you, Darkman.
Got it.
Damn.
To be about mid-time.
Damn. That was a tough one.
Yep,
Right.
this looks good.
Everyone gets the concept of the staggered column, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Right. Just gonna use the radio real quick, just so that everyone hears. Since we're in a perfect formation to do what we call a peel maneuver. In this
Yep.
case, a center peel.
Prius, Aaron doesn't have the radio. I'm just gonna fix with him.
Yep. No worries.
Alright. So
You can move him to the side. So, peeling maneuvers in side of formations, especially a staggered column. Usually, Don, bro, you're hot micing again. Usually, you know what?
I'll fix it right now.
Let's try that again.
Radio check.
Yep, Roger. Out. Right, go ahead and come back here, Aaron, if you're set. Anyway, everyone can hear me, right? I'm only yelling right now.
Yep.
Right, so regarding peeling maneuvers, especially if we're moving, let's say, on a road to a certain direction. This time to the south, right?
Hold it.
In this case, if we were to, let's say, take contact from the front, and we have a call out, we need to center peel back. In this case, you can go down, whoever's far out, come a little bit closer. In this case, right, stack column is a perfect formation to basically simulate a center peel. So, the person, whoever's like, let's say, the point man of the start column, whenever a center peel is called, let's say in this case I'll demonstrate the point man, center peel back, in this call, when a PL maneuver has been called, point man will disengage, run into the middle, and move all the way to the back, same side he was on. And then this is a continuous movement until we either get towards a better cover or we're out of combat. So yeah, it's a continuous movement peeling backwards inside between the two fire team lines or columns. In this case, I'll start peeling, Chris peeling. Now, in this moment when I've passed Darkman on the other side, right, he can also start peeling and then follow me to the rear. And it's essentially a continuous movement. I'll peel back to my side of the road. Darkman will peel back to his side of the road. And it's just a continuous movement. Every other person from each side will start peeling and so on and so forth. And every time the front man is getting switched, they will also generally keep an eye to the front, keep their guns up when their maneuver starts peeling, and so on and so forth. Everyone gets the concept of this, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Is there anyone who doesn't get the concept? Cool.
Nope.
Alright, so that's the center peel, usually used in a staggered column. Now we're going to demonstrate the side peel. So everyone line up on the road facing west. Doesn't matter what position you are. Right? So, in this case, we can kind of get closer to each other so that everyone hears. Don't be shy. Chrono's not in game.
Oh, please don't. I thought I skipped this.
Right. So let's say, for example, in this case, we have a firing line facing west, because, in this case, we have contacts coming there. Might be engaging, things like that. Now, this is to simulate a side peel of a formation, usually done in a line formation, from a line formation. So, first initial call out will be peel north. When peel north is indicated, the opposite side person from north will start peeling. So in this case, I'm the person that's on the opposite side of the fire team towards the north. I will start disengaging, Prius peeling. Keep in mind, I will move behind everyone, not forwards. Behind everyone to the other end of the formation, and this is also a continuous movement, so on and so forth. And this will continue. We are firing contacts to our west, so on, so on. Is peeling. And set, and so forth. Right. Everyone get the concept of side peel?
Yep.
Yep.
Right. What happens in a center peel?
Center peel. Go ahead.
Go ahead, kMaN. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Simple as it is. Everyone follow me. Right. Everyone has mags on their inventory, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So come here a little bit closer. We're gonna do a quick simulation on the bounding maneuvers and things like that. So essentially what the aspect of this is, your main objective is, actually can't see, come over here a little bit. You guys see that small watchtower over there, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Your main objective is to get to that position. There is a hostile on that tower that's gonna try to suppress you, basically stop you from maneuvering onwards. The key point of this is whenever we bound or do bounding maneuvers and we're in active combat, is that when the other fire team is maneuvering towards the next set of cover, the other fire team is covering them either via suppressive fire. Everyone understand the concept, right?
Yep.
I know there's a cool saying for this, and I've already forgotten it, but usually it tends to go, maneuver without fire is usually deadly. Understand the concept, especially when we're actively in contact. You want to suppress the enemy so that you can maneuver. Alright, anyone want to step up as a makeshift fire team leader for the individual fire team, body color teams? kMaN, right? Blue, anyone? Chimbala, Darkman?
I guess I can do it if no one wants to.
Alright, well, cool. So, essentially, general communication between one another. Indicate what you're doing. Blue, covering. Blue, sets. Red, moving. Red, sets. Blue, moving. So on and so forth. Your starting point is that position right there.
Alrighty.
Everyone should be on the same frequency, 255.
Radio check.
That was not on the radio or frequency.
Do you still have it on 255?
Radio check.
There we go.
There we go. Right, so give me a couple seconds. I'll give you the go, and then you'll essentially commence the scenario.
Who wants to move first? Red or blue?
Where are you?
Aaron, you
Okay.
will be blue team, just so you know.
Okay.
You may commence scenario. Go, go, go.
Blue team moving.
Watch out, I'm on the ground.
Blue team set. Blue team moving.
I'm hit.
Blue team set.
Are you running over them or? Loading.
Blue team moving.
I'm hit bad. My ears after this.
Sorry, say again?
I need help my ACE after this.
Yeah, no worries.
Alright.
Pop mic, Felix. Pop mic. Yes, ma'am.
Apparently my mic is sensitive.
Alright, all round defense yet again. Nothing theory. Alright, everyone form up on me.
Being the room.
Alrighty then. So, a final topic, which is going to be a quick showcase of the basics of breaching and clearing. So, breaching buildings like these, etc. Things like that. Essentially, right. So, anyway, quick. You're actually bleeding, Felix.
Am I?
Let me
Oh, yeah,
fix-
I am.
Let me fix that for you. Just wondering where that blood came from. Right. So, simple as it is, breaching and clearing. Regarding those topics, is just us, getting inside a building, overrunning it friendlies, making sure it's clear of enemies, and gaining control of it. Right. Simple as that. Now, I'm certain some of you have heard phrases like surprise, momentum, aggression, slow is smooth, smooth is fast, things like that, and so on. So, combat in close quarters combat, very tight corners, so forth, so on. Now, what's the key about with CQB is communication, as is pretty much with everything inside of UNITAF. All right, indicating to what's happening, what's going to happen, who goes where, and things like that. Felix, let's go ahead and showcase a single stack for these guys, and don't be shy. You can come in a little closer and look at us, essentially. So, what we're currently doing is a single stack. Basically, the fire team is stacking in the same side of the door frame. So in this case, left side or right side, depending on how you want to do it. Starting off, there's an important factor into stacking up on a certain side of the door. Can someone say why?
Depending which side is opening.
Exactly, depending on which way the door is opening. As you can see, you have the door hinges on the right side. So usually, where does the door open in that case?
Towards us.
Yeah, towards the hinges.
Yeah, towards the hinges and the right side in this case, as we see them. Showcased like that, right? So, depending on that, it's always to make sure to look which way the door opens up. Now, occasionally there might be some doors that might open the other way, or you're not able to see the hinges. At that point, we can also look at which side door handle is. So if the door handle is on our end, it usually goes to the opposite side as it does here. You can also see the door hinge on the other side as well, and you don't have visible views of the hinge, so you can also use the door hinge as a notifier of which way it might open. So generally, you don't want to stack up on the side where the door opens up on you. It's like, fuck, door opened up on me. Shit, let me just get around and then go in. So on, right? Simple shit.
Yep.
Now, to go more in depth into the breaching in simple terms. Single stack, breaching a room. Before we breach, you can see that the billboard to your left showcases a maneuver called pieing. Essentially, pieing is, simple terms, just me pieing into the room, looking what's inside, and essentially crossing. In pieing, you don't generally start, alright, I'm gonna pie, and from here fall back in. That's not what you do. You pie to the other side and you stay on the other side. Alright? When the breaching commences, at this point, I was the point man for the breach, but I pied. Point man switched over Felix. When Felix breaches, I'll just come in from the other side and go in. Simple as it is. Reset. But if we're to just do a quick breach and clear, essentially there's two ways to go in, depending on how many people we have. We're on a single stack, breaching, essentially I can hook or cross. Usually when the point man breaches, they will always hook the corner that they have essentially stacked up on. So I've stacked on the left corner. I'll breach to the left and make sure that everything to the left is clear. And then vice versa, Felix will do the opposite of what I did. He will basically hook to the right or cross to the right, depending on what the terrain is inside, right? So let's say if we were to have each and every one of you line up behind us, it would literally be just every other person does the opposite of what the person in front of you did. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. So, in this case, yeah, I want everyone to go inside there. So you'll actually see the inside maneuver then.
Base arm leads out.
Jesus Christ.
And just go in from the left. There you go. Alright. So us moving in, right? So as mentioned, either a hook or a cross. Felix, get ready.
Let's close the door.
Or fire in 3, 2, 1.
Breaching, hooking left. And in this case, we would essentially move up to this position and hold, as we would think that this is a, how do you call it, a phase stop, essentially. I have, in this case, if you would call this a crossfire, I have more visibility to Felix's right, and Felix has more visibility around the corner to my left, right? In this case, we're just cross-watching up until the point that, hey, continue breach. And at that point, looking left, switch, and now take my corner yet again. Left clear. And Felix does the opposite, right clear.
Right
so
clear.
on and so forth. Breaching can, is done in various different ways, but it all comes down to how well you coordinate with one another and basically keep up with the information flow. Right? Usually the point man just keeps on talking. Breaching, hooking left, corridor, crossfire, ready, set, hook left.
Hooking right.
At that point, just keep moving, so on and so forth. Left clear,
Right clear.
building clear. Simple as it is, right?
Yep.
Now, as well, there's like different million ways. Let's just say we had like 6 different guys come in the building, right? In this case, when we hooked into the first phase stop, I would have 3 behind or 2 behind me. That would make 3 total on the left side, 3 on the right side. Essentially, we would just split up until the majority of the building is clear. 3 guys would go in left, and 3 guys would go in right. But in this case, as you can see, left side is fairly clear. Went in, it's clear. But inside of the, let's say, if I'm a part of the right team, and when we switch from the crossfire to hooking to our own sides again, and in this case, Felix would be the point man clearing the right side of the building. On you, Felix.
Hooking right.
Felix hooks right, I hook left, I do the opposite of Felix, and so on. Everyone understands the fundamentality of that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Go ahead and get inside of here. This room now. Hug the wall. And hug everyone in this wall.
Someone's bleeding.
Yeah, someone is bleeding. Yeah, sure.
There's always someone spinning.
And as well, something to note as well, when we breach buildings, let's do the same thing as well, Felix.
Yep. Set.
On you.
Breaching, hooking right.
Is that we hug the wall. So you go from corner to corner to corner, hugging the wall. You don't come in the building like, hey, all right, clear. Running in the middle of the fucking building like an idiot. No, you do it fully. Reaching right, hooking right. You hug the wall, corner clear, corner clear, corner clear up until you meet a friendly. That makes sense, everyone?
Yeah. Yep. So, as Prius said before, what's the dangerous place when preaching?
Civilians.
The
Corners?
dangerous place,
Door
not
and
person.
corners.
Just corners. Yes. So basically, if I'm over here on this side, I don't know what's happening in here. So basically, hooking up here, going right immediately, I can see what's in here and seeing what's over here, and the other guy's hooking to the left and knows what in here. So what Brius just said, if I just walk in here, oh, there's a guy and there's a guy, boom, 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 I'm dead. So it's important to just hook, take those dead corners, kill the enemy, and securing the house as well as the room with that tactic. I don't have anything to say.
Yeah. To add that, when you hook, you commit to the breach, or when you breach, you commit to it, right? You don't stop midway. When you say the sentence, you commit. Important part is, instead of breaching scenarios, it's up to you to trust your buddy and your fire team, right? As mentioned, you don't just stop in, turn around. You might have an enemy behind you, but you commit to the hook. Your sector is this sector right here. You clear the corner and so on. You trust your buddy that's behind you to the opposite side, same tactic. You trust them to clear the other side, even though you have the back towards that side. Understand?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, while we go into the communication-wise, other than this one, yeah.
We
So
can go.
basically, let's just say that there's an enemy over there in that corner. Now, I'm gonna shoot. I don't think I actually have any magazines. No. There we go. Nothing happened. I haven't said a word. Huh, that's weird. What could have happened?
Friendly
Please.
fire.
No. Basically, when there's a fire going on inside the house, you see an enemy. Bam. Tango down. Indicating to the other person that someone's been gone down. In this case, enemy. If there's no words after that from your battle buddy team, it's likely that he's down.
Yep. That's also comes down to the basics. Communication is key, right? Point man or whoever may be taking a certain corner, you see a contact, bang bang, contact down, right? Indicating that, hey, your buddy actually took a contact down, they're still up. If you just hear bang bang and nothing else, if we have a standard operating procedure of we indicate that we shot someone, and then in that remarking that standard operating procedure, you hear shots but no one relays anything. That indicates that, hey, buddy might be down for surely. Go in, breach the building, help out, breach the building fully, do medical. Yep.
Yep.
All right. So something as well. Someone actually mentioned this. What is the dangerous position inside the buildings? Someone said corners.
In doorways.
Exactly, doorways. This
Because
comes
when
down.
one stops and one goes down, there's really no going forward in most cases.
Exactly. This comes down to committing. Why do we commit? So that we don't stop. And you don't want to do a half-assed job where breaching. Ah, shit, my leg cramp or some stupid shit. You get shot down in the doorway. In Arma physics, your body becomes a very, very excellent door wedge.
You become the door.
Yeah, you become the door, exactly. You can't get friendlies into the room because your sorry ass is in the doorway blocking it. And because you just stopped, decided to stop. Oh, I see a bad guy there. I stopped. No. You keep momentum up. You see a shot. You see a contact. Bang, bang. Shoot on the move. You shoot on the move. Contact down. Contact down. Room clear. Don't stop in the doorway. Right. Let's find you guys a bigger room here real quick. No.
That's kind of awful, to be honest.
So, actually, let's do this in the body color teams real quick. So, let's actually come here. You guys follow me. Blue, you guys take that building over there. Red, you guys take this building over here.
If you want to go first, go ahead.
So, yeah, on your own time, whoever's taking points on this, it's up to you.
We're missing one guy on blue. No, that's just blind.
You got them.
You're blind.
That's blind.
Right,
Ready.
Ready.
On you go.
kMaN.
However you want to do it. Let's go.
Ready?
No.
Right, clear. Hallway.
Right clear.
Ready?
Clear.
Going right. Right
Ready.
is clear.
Hold up. Ready. On you. Left clear.
Clear.
You guys want to take that door? To your right?
All right, moving.
You want to just go in here?
Yep.
Up, friendlies.
Going in. Alright, clean.
All right, good.
Alright, conversion on the start position again.
Let's go back.
Alright, welcome back. So, quick little notes. Definitely good breaches, right? In general, there's always a right and wrong way to do it, but there's various ways to do a breach and clear, right? Doesn't have to be one specific way. It always gets mixed up and things like that, right? Couple of keynotes that I saw that you guys checked very thoroughly, right? Especially like doorways like this. A door went inwards this time rather than outwards. When you breach the building, you actually checked behind the door as well, which is something I applaud you. They always check behind the doorway, because sometimes an enemy might just be sneaking behind the doorway, waiting for you to just walk past and shoot you in the head from your back. Right? Very good work. Now, keep in mind, when you breach a building, things like that, stick to the walls, right? Try not to overtake your buddy or your point man. If you're hooking left and the other people are hooking left, keep in that formation on the left side of the wall. Do not just walk in front of anyone. Just keep following up until the moment you find another door that you need to spread out from. Right? Things like that. If you come into this room, everyone, as an example, there was a good cohesion here when people watch the crossing. So if you guys take a look at this corner from that angle, go ahead and move over there. I'll try to simulate this as much, but Felix, go in that corner, by the way.
Yep.
So in this case, very good call. Crossfire, right? In this case, because my wall kind of extends a little bit forwards, I can always keep an eye on and check the immediate corner of Felix's side, right? And Felix at the same time can just hold that corner and watch to my left that nobody's there. The same principle applies. Crossfire, switch, 3, 2, 1, hooking left. Bang, bang, contact down. And keeping continuing the movement. Good, useful of that, definitely. Now, as well, kind of keeping the mindset of generally not walking across doorways, right? So it's understandable that, all right, we've hugged the wall, moving up towards the south here, but there's this door frame here. Yeah, it might be a metal door. In this case, it might actually be wooden. I'm not sure of that texture. Actually, let's find out.
Looks like plywood.
That is wood. So, in general, doors are very thin. They do nothing to stop a bullet. Right? Generally, you do not want to, move across the door frame, like in this scenario here, because it's not gonna stop bullets. People can shoot through it. All right? And with knowing armor mechanics, occasionally AI might not actually visibly see the door itself. So they can just, shoot through. But as I mentioned, each and every breach and clear is unique. Doesn't always follow the same pattern and things like that. You just gotta adapt to the situation as best as you can. In this case, I could possibly suggest, rather than hooking the wall, you could keep someone hold here whilst another guy comes up, does a quick breach of this room clear, so on, and then proceeding along the wall again. Right, multiple ways to do it, just adapting the situation in on itself. Any questions, comments?
Nope.
Nope.
All right, cool.
Nope.
So,
Do have cross. Not explained.
Sorry.
Yeah, we done the hook. Do you want to go specifically on the cross as well?
So in crossing, as well, just a real quick showcase, right? Crossing is literally just, rather than hooking, if I'm on the left side, I don't hook to the left. It's just crossing. That's that. Hooking happens usually all of it. Hooking and then crossing, hooking, crossing, intervals, single stack. You can of course do a cross with a double stack on both sides of the door frame, right? But you can also do a cross hooking on a cross double stack. But that generally comes down to the point man on what he calls out. Generally, it's always suggested that you just keep doing the hook version of things to make it easier. Right, I'm gonna make a couple of scenarios for you guys, and then we'll move it on to index here shortly. So give me a second or so.
I'll be right back. Bio break.
Actually, go ahead and move to the southwest up until you find me. Right, hold there for a second. Right, and then right, so listen up. These two buildings have metal targets in them. They're colored blue, and your target is essentially clear the building. Shoot the targets until they fall down. All right, shoot them until they fall down. Everyone have enough ammo?
Yep.
Yep.
Right. Red, take this one. Blue, take the other one.
I'm gonna take blue.
Amber, you there?
Does one of you guys want to go to the opposite end of the? I think it looks like it opens in red, so we can have 2 and 2.
He said he's gonna go AFK for something. So-
Ready, everyone ready?
Well, that's fine. You can do it with
I'm
three
gonna go
men.
in, hook
Well,
right.
let's go. Ready.
Door opening. Nope. Door.
Going in. Over the corner clear.
Coming.
Gonna breach this. 3, 2, 1,
Ready?
breaching.
Behind you.
Ready?
Left clear.
Clear. Pop up.
Forward.
3, 1, 2, 3, going in. Clear.
Somebody got hit. By ricochet, I think.
Reloading. Right clear. This. Going in.
Yeah.
Should wait for us in. Is it clear there?
But the target is not down.
Reloading.
Surprised by how many shots they took.
Now he's down.
Okay, moving out of the building.
Usually just full auto, full mag.
Alright, Brett, go ahead in a minute.
Giving.
But just go in, not through the doorway.
So yeah, how do you think that went?
Well, some of the targets didn't go down, I think. Straight away.
Yeah, that's alright. I didn't mention it was shoot them until they got up, but a couple shots is enough to get the thing across. Yeah, fairly good communication, maneuver, things like that. I'll heal you, kMaN. But yeah, definitely do a quick run through here. Good movement on actually taking the corner right behind the door, and then holding here, etc. Things like that. Holding until the other side guys check the corner here. Things like that. Usually at this point, we could easily set up a position of cover at this position, just holding this position whilst the two guys behind me go clear the building or room on their side, right? Rather than having everyone fall back here, going in. At that point, you generally lose the cover position of that position, and you might have enemies pop open the door and come in. So setting up positions of hold where one guy or the other bar team holds cover whilst the other clears a room, and then when they are cleared, they'll just fall up, form up again, and start clearing further in. Right? Yeah. Simple stuff. You cleared especially here as well. Cleared behind the door. Always check behind the door so that there's no one behind there. You don't do this. You just move up and possibly get shot in the rear. Always check behind the corner. And here as well. You decided to clear one door first and then move on to the second. All right. Good thing. Try not to do, if you, let's say this is a corridor leading up over there, try not to do a simultaneous breach on both doors, because in this case, if I were to breach this room to my left and that door gets opened up, there might generally be a guy standing over there that easily can have clear line of sight on me, right? So one room at a time, or door at a time, if they're like stacked up right in front of us, each other. Going in, clear, stack up, and then boom, go clear the other one. Simple as this, but definitely there's always a multitude of ways to clear a building. You guys did great. So keep that in communication as well. Oh boy. Felix, you done over there?
Yeah, we done. We're coming there.
Right, form up on me outside. Right, so generally, that's basically the CQB section as it is, simple as it is. Sadly, we're not gonna go in depth into a actual live fire scenario as we don't have any more time. Already past the 3-hour mark. Yeah, we're past the 3-hour mark. Yeah, at this moment, does anyone here have any comments, questions, concerns?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
All right, things like that. Yeah. So, with that said, it's basically the end of this portion, right? In this regards, we will go back to talking with the chain of command, see, kind of talk between us on how you guys did, things like that, log some dossier notes here and there, and you will eventually get approved via getting access to the website and Discord, right? So, depending on this, if you have either to do some recurring tests real quick on some certain factors. Oh, by the way, Felix, go ahead and teach. Who was Aaron Ace.
Yeah.
So, if you take him somewhere to the east.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and also I want to say a few things. Just to clarify, in the UNITAF, the insignias that you might have on the other groups, we do allow you play with the other groups. It's just not with this one. But if you're wearing a different insignia, just don't use it here. You can only use the UNITAF one, just to make sure that when we're in the operations, we know which is ours by identifying the UNITAF insignia.
Do I have one on? I thought I took mine off.
Is that yeah, you don't have, but Darkman I think has one.
Right, I do.
Next. Darkman.
Oh, you have a.
Fancy one.
That's actually a cool one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
lie.
actually one.
I thought I took that off. I actually meant to take that off before we started. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's
it's no
alright.
problem. Hey, it's no problem there. And also with you're getting the recruit rank after this, yes?
If they get approved, yes.
Yes. So once you get approved, just remember to change your name to REC, as stands for recruit.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, essentially, as Felix said, your next step is you will be notified if you're accepted into the unit via just getting access to our Discord, so on and so forth. There will, of course, be a bot messaging you about it, and so on. When this happens, might take next hour or so, things like that. When you get accepted, you will be assigned to a section. Each section has their individual section commander / leader, who will essentially be your immediate chain of command. And if you do have any questions, comments, concerns, you can always contact this person asking any questions, or if you need help in any particular thing, right?
Sure.
When you guys get accepted, you will start the recruit probationary period, where you'll play as regular infantryman in our core infantry category. So it's either, assistant roles, rifleman roles, light anti-tank roles, or maybe for about 15 to 20 hours, do a couple trainings, and from there on out, you will be promoted to rank of private. And from there, you can start branching out into the different categories as mentioned or showcased in the induction. If you're into leadership, you can start doing leadership roles. If you're into Zeusing, you can start branching out into that sort of stuff. If you're generally interested in medical, you can do that. Or if you're interested in AT, you can branch out into anti-tank stuff. All right. Yeah, as mentioned, we'll talk about it between us and things like that. And hope to see you guys inside of UNITAF for sure. You guys did great, by the way, and there's surely get accepted in. So with that said, we'll see who of you gets in. Eh? Anyway, yeah, Felix, go ahead and take Aaron to race, and we should be good with the rest of you guys. Yeah, I will catch you guys later. You're free to hop off the server.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you, Felix. Thank you, Prius.
Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
User left your channel.
All right. Good night.
User left your channel.
Good night, guys.